Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to get right into this. Squatting is a national problem, and in my opinion, it needs national attention. Enter this guy right here that you see up here. This guy, whose name is LaShawn Rankin, has been a squatter in 2 separate incidents and in news stories that broke within a week of each other. Now, I seen this video last week. I meant to do this video and it got lost in translation. But I don't know why people would want to attach themselves to being labeled a bum almost, or have themselves in a position where people look down on them for something that they know is morally wrong. This squatting thing is out of control. And if it was up to me, man, I'll make sure these people listen. I'm gonna just be quiet about it. But anyway, listen. Take a look at this story, because this guy's in 2 stories that broke in the past week. Let's go to the original story and then come back, and the second story I tell you about these women whose house this guy and his people invaded like vermin. What they had to do was get them out is messed up. There's no way that you own a house, you go and fight so much to get a house, to have somebody, you know, people act like they can't do nothing about it and people just living in your stuff. Makes no sense. Look.
The Tinley Park man heard about squatter stories before, but never thought it could actually happen to him. So he called us and we got right on this case. Stephen Brill was excited to sell this Tinley Park home that he purchased and renovated earlier this year.
I put the house on the market Monday evening, and then yesterday at 4 p.m. an agent went to go show the house for a showing.
During that showing, he says the real estate agent discovered the lockbox had been broken and a family of 4 with 2 dogs was living inside. The property owner says he showed up with police that same day. He says someone came outside and showed police this lease, claiming they paid a deposit and had a right to be there. Because of this lease, police did not remove the family and referred the property owner to the eviction courts.
I thought for sure that they would remove the people from the house, but they didn't. In the end, they're still there.
In a statement to the ABC 7i team, a spokesperson for the Tinley Park Police Department told us in part, quote, "Though the lease is most likely invalid, that is not the officer's responsibility to determine. Evictions are a civil matter."
Really, you feel like you're not even the homeowner. They took over the house.
Real estate attorney Mo Dotka says these cases are a nationwide problem.
They will usually give them a fake lease, or they'll say we have an agreement with the landlord. And then at that point, the police officers are a little bit stuck. They don't know if this document is real. They can't just throw somebody out who could potentially be a lawful tenant. So they'll tell the landlord, you have to go through the court's eviction process.
This property owner opted to call me instead, hoping we could help. After I reached out to Tinley Park Police, Brill said he got a call from an officer saying they were willing to take a second look at the case. In doing so, police found the so-called lease was invalid. One major red flag, the address on the lease didn't match the property's address. So they took action to order the family to leave the property. We were there as police came back to the property where 2 pets were removed from the home and the people inside eventually left peacefully. The people living inside wouldn't come to talk to us for a comment. Brill is now back in his home after what he calls one of the worst situations he's ever faced as a property owner.
And I do believe that calling you guys actually helped, reaching out to the police department. I feel like that lit a fire and got everybody moving even faster.
We're glad you have your house back. I know it's been an ordeal. We did a full walkthrough with the homeowner. There was a lot of trash and the family's belongings strewn throughout the home, but the damage appears to be minimal. Homeowners are encouraged to have cameras installed on their property, even if it's vacant. Once that for sale sign goes up, the home can be a target for potential squatters. That is right. The women in Hazel Crest saw our story last week and were in utter disbelief. They say the same people who took over the Tinley Park home did the same thing to their property. What they had to do to get these people out of their home might just shock you. These 2 ladies are business partners. They own this house in Hazel Crest, which they were hoping to sell this month. But last week, they got a call from a realtor informing them a group of people with 2 dogs moved into their home.
Am I being punked? I can't believe this is happening to us.
They say they rushed to their property and met this man, who identified himself as LaShawn Rankin. They say they took this photo of him from their front yard as they asked him to leave. The ladies say he claimed that he paid a landlord $4,000 in cash to rent this home for his family and signed a lease. He said he wasn't leaving, so the ladies called the police.
They told us that this is a civil matter. It is absolutely nothing that they can do. They showed them a lease with their name on it. How do we know that they're not being scammed?
The ladies learned their only recourse was to evict them, which could take months. They say the people inside asked them for money to leave. And after negotiating, the ladies had them sign a cash for key agreement and gave them $2,700 to vacate.
I did not want to pay. I wanted to call their bluff. I thought that if we actually went the legal route of eviction, I felt like eventually they would have given in. However, I did know that they would have longer access to the house and we could lose potential buyers.
A couple days later, the ladies saw our story about a man in Tinley Park who claimed squatters had moved into his house and refused to leave.
And I see a dog come out, and I see this young gentleman walking the dog. I see the coat. I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is them, this is them.
Take a look at the Tinley Park lease and the Hazel Crest lease. They're nearly identical.
We are going to criminally investigate.
Mitchell Davis, chief of police in Hazel Crest, says LaShawn Rankin is connected to other alleged squatting cases.
That's the common name in Tinley Park, Hazel Crest, and in South Highland that we've seen.
He says current law prevents police from removing alleged squatters on the spot. If they have a signed lease, it's hard for an officer to determine if it's invalid. But Chief Davis says with this new information, he's working with the Cook County State's attorney to see if any crimes like extortion or fraud were broken.
We had someone that was interested. She was here on her second showing. She wanted to buy our home. She's gone now.
These ladies say they want the alleged squatters to be stopped and held responsible.
I believe that they are house hopping. I think they're very sophisticated. I feel like they have a routine that they follow.
When the ladies finally got their property back, they say it smelled of marijuana and there was trash everywhere, so they had to pay to get it cleaned. The Hazel Crest police chief, he says homeowners should ask their neighbors to watch over their homes when they are away and install cameras outside and inside the home. That way you can call 911 the minute you detect someone breaking in. As of now, no one has been charged with a crime, but police are investigating and working with the state's attorney. We also reached out to LaShawn Rankin for a comment, but we have not heard back. Samantha Chapman, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Damn shameful. And the thing that's even more shameful than that is, once they found out that they got busted in a lie, and everybody knows it's a lie, fraudulent lease and all that stuff, what do? You got to leave. And they just let them go. Don't lock them up. Just let them go. And that's why they're getting bolded to go and do this somewhere else. First house that you seen, the first story just recently broke with the white dude. The one with the two black women, the business owners that was running that house trying to sell it. That was the first story. They seen him with the jacket and recognized who he was. You think about that. You got a reputation of going around and trying to steal somebody's house from under them. And that's all this is, trying to steal somebody's house. I honestly think these squatters are so dim-witted and stupid, right? That they think that they'll come with a fake lease. The owner eventually come, they'll show up with this lease and say this, knowing that the person's trying to rent the house or sell the house anyway. And then they think that the person will crumble and say, well, you know what, you're already in the house, so maybe we can work an arrangement out and you can get, you make payments to us. Even though we know all this shit is fake. And maybe they can get a place to stay. I want you to think about something. One of the things about the American dream that everybody, one of the things listed in the American dream is having your own house, white picket fence or whatever the hell they call that stuff. But a home is one of the things that's part of being in the American dream. And these people right here want to take somebody else's dream by living in their house. And then they come with some fake ass paper and they stick it in your face and say, you can't throw me out. Because these people know that they're not going to be in these houses for long. How is it even worth your time? Say you paid thousands of dollars to somebody to move into a house, right? But every time they go in the house after you've been there, it's all tore to hell. Said the house smelled like weed smoke. Why are we not surprised by that? Second house, he got dogs in it. Bunch of people chilling in the house, dogs in it, trash all over the place. You know why? They don't value shit. That's why they ain't got shit. And then when they get in your shit, they don't value your shit. And that's why you see trash, weed smoke, and all this other kind of stupid stuff in houses decreasing the value from people that don't value anything. It needs to be harsher penalties to people that try to steal a house. Hell, you can steal a car and get your ass locked up. What the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? People have houses that are vacated. They trying to rush and get somebody in there so they can make some type of residual income from it. And here you got people that just show up, bust up in the house, break the lock, the key lock, go up in there, and then act like they didn't know nothing and they got there illegally. That's some dishonorable shit. But then again, some people don't care. You can't shame the shameless. And this right here is as bad as it gets. Then they throw you out. And you just walk with your head down, all stupid and stuff, leaving up out of there. On to the next one, looking for another dog to jump on and attach yourself to like the parasite that you are. This is crazy stuff. This right here, like I said, need national attention. It don't take that damn long for them to come up with some type of universal law across the nation that makes it to where when your ass do this, you getting locked up. If you can't prove that this lease is real, or we find out this lease is invalid, your ass getting locked up and you doing time for this. This is like a hustle that a lot of people are part of, and they only get emboldened from the last encounter they had where nothing happened. Yeah, we live like gypsies. We'll move in your shit. You'll throw us out. We'll go somewhere else and find another place to tear up, and then we'll do it, or the cycle start all over again. They keep saying it's a civil matter. Okay, if you know this is a national problem, why ain't nobody addressing it? Or coming up with some solutions. Hey, listen, this is what we need to do because this is growing and these people work hard for this stuff. And they had to pay him $2,700 to get out. He would just pay you. So he got $2,700 for breaking in somebody's house, living free off of their utilities, smoking weed, trashing the place, and you got to pay this motherfucker to get out? How is that fair to the American people? How is it fair to business owners like these ladies? How is it fair to this guy that was trying to sell a house and just make a profit like a lot of people want to do? I'm done with it. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is one of the reasons why I would never get into real estate, because people do some crazy stuff when they feel as though you can't do nothing to them. And with the growing trend of squatters and stuff, I'd have lost my mind out here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.